probably. So we're gonna talk about how much we love it, how much we love it, and how much we love it, right?
Pretty much. About in that order, too.
Yeah. Are you sure it's not gonna be how much we love it, how much we love it, and then how much we love it?
Yeah, that might actually work. That might flow better.
Probably.
Yeah. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Clapper Gaming. I'm Andrew, once again here with Ed.
Hello.
And we are going to be talking about Samurai Jack today.
Fuck yeah, Samurai Jack.
Samurai Jack, possibly one of the greatest cartoons ever made, and I will say that with complete confidence. Actually, no. Samurai Jack is not the greatest cartoon ever made. I'm not even going to classify it as a cartoon. Samurai Jack is an art piece.
It is a masterpiece of animation.
It is a masterpiece of animation. It is a masterclass in animation. Now, I am an animator. I have an animation degree. It's on the wall. It's real. I went to the Massachusetts College of Art and Design for animation, and I can tell you from watching Samurai Jack, they are getting every frame to work in their complete favor. There are entire episodes of Samurai Jack where there's 6 frames and background tiles.
And they're all glorious.
And they're all glorious. I've never seen a show do so much with such little imagery. The best thing about the show, the tiles that pop in as something's happening. Instead of drawing this climactic fight where it's moving around and everything, all you have to do is a 9-frame sword slash, panel slide in, 9-frame sword slash in another direction, panel slide in, 9-frame sword slash in a different direction, and then just cut to a bunch of enemies on the ground.
Exactly. That's what they did too. It was, it happened a lot of times it happened at least twice in the episode with the monkeys. I can't remember what they're called.
Yes, the ones with the zap sticks.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they're subjugating the creatures.
The big hairy creatures there.
Mm-hmm. The Woolites.
The Woolites, yes. No, the Woolies.
The Woolies.
The Woolies.
Woolites.
Whatever, close enough. And it also happened a lot in the episode where he helped free those dogs from those bug creatures.
Right.
These are just season 1 examples because those are fresh in our minds. But like it is just a shining example on how you can do so much with almost nothing.
Perfect example of that happens to come in Jack and the Three Blind Archers. We've discussed this one. We discussed this one when we actually thought up of the idea of coming up with this. But the scene where Jack first puts on the blindfold and understands that he needs to get on their level in order to defeat these people.
Mm-hmm.
So he puts on the blindfold, and from a completely black screen, we see still images come up and stay of things that he's hearing. And
yes,
visualizing in his mind.
Each one of those things that pops up is like a 5-frame instance, maybe. I mean, it's brilliant because it's a 7-8 minute scene out of a 20-minute runtime where it's just a black screen
with bits and pieces floating around.
Yeah, I mean, there's over half that episode is forest noises.
That's pretty much all it is.
It's like a single painted background of just the forest. Of course, then there's also the fight with the archers, which we do get to see, which is also spattered with instances of just black with like the thing he's hearing in the foreground moving slightly in 6-7 frame loops, just almost no animation, and it creates this beautiful sense of depth of sound.
It makes us understand that animation is not entirely about the moving pieces.
Exactly. It is about their juxtaposition in the frame and the sounds that accompany them. Like, a great example. This is sound design 101, but in Dead Space 1, there's a scene where you walk into a little girl's bedroom, and there's like a carousel in the ceiling, and it's shining all like the horse shadows on the walls and everything,
Hmm.
and it's terrifying because like the orchestra's kicking in because it's a pre-done event where you walk in this room and it gets all freaky on you. But if you drop the sound completely out of that scene, it is hilarious. Because like here's this grown man freaking out at all these shadow ponies on the wall, just lightly dancing around, and it's like a normal girl's, like 6-year-old girl's bedroom. There's like
Right.
hearts and shit, it and it's funny because he walks in his room, sees all these shadows, and starts freaking out because you don't have the sound to accompany that, and without the sound in that particular episode, the whole thing would just fall flat. It'd be boring.
Because of the fact that you can't have blind archers unless you have something like sound, for instance, to give them that feel.
Right.
To give them the ability to do this, because you can't use smell. That's just too inaccurate.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. But like it's brilliant because what they're doing is a visual representation of the sound.
Yeah.
And showing that Jack is hearing this noise and then immediately associating that with the object that makes that noise.
Usually, in the case of this episode, the arrows.
Yes. And that just adds more into the characterization of Jack, where we are told very little about Jack. We don't even know his real name, really, because Jack
Nope.
is his.
All we know is that the three crazy kids, the teenagers, when he got there, just kept calling him Jack, and it's stuck, and we don't know his name.
Yep. It,
And that is another great part about I like about a good animation is that you good animation can either be you can have the fully exposed character that has the backstory in the first episode.
Mhm.
Great, I like that as well. But my favorite is the mysterious main character.
Because all we know about Jack is that he traveled the world training to fight a coup. And he got his magic sword from his father. And then he fought a coup and got flung into the future. That's all we really know about Jack.
And that makes him mysterious and very malleable in the backstory definition.
And that's all we really need to know about Jack, because everything else we need to know about Jack comes through in the show. His his righteousness, his honorable tendencies, his goals, his ambitions, and his desire to stop a coup come through
But
in his actions.
and the best part is that despite this infinite desire to defeat Aku, he understands that sacrifices need to be made in order to help those around him before
Yes.
helping himself.
And he on a regular basis, almost per episode, sacrifices something that would benefit him for the benefit of others.
The destruction of the well from the three blind archers, the
He didn't even
jumped.
hesitate
No,
in the Three Blind Archers episode. That was like, hey, this thing's evil, and he's like, oh, I killed it.
he hesitated a little bit whenever they were they were planning on using the speed of light thing to get sending back in time. He kind of hesitated there, but he got out and he understood.
Yes, yeah, I mean, they did so much for that show with almost nothing. Like there's an entire episode of Jack literally fighting his inner demon,
I loved that episode.
and that whole episode is just fantastic because it's taking an aspect, like everyone has a temper, everyone's got that point. It's manifesting in a physical thing and showing how to overcome it through just self-realization, self-actualization.
They
And
took that to a whole new another level by facing him with this.
it did. I mean, there's always like the Shadow Link bullshit, but
But he in this it was not used in a kill it to win aspect.
Yes.
Jack met his equal and still defeated him without truly being harmed.
Yeah. He it,
All he had to do was sheath his blade, tie up his hair, and say, I have no hate, you do not exist, because you are my hate.
and yeah, and that show is that point is when the show really started climbing that rank for me.
Hmm.
Because there are moments in a show where you can say, okay, this is where it is starting to climb, and that was the moment where I realized this is more than a children's cartoon.
Oh, definitely.
Because this is something that, yeah, children come up against that stuff, but to literally say that I'm above hate, that
And
I'm a
prove it.
better person to be hateful than to be hateful, you know? To
Yeah,
literally be above yourself is a place I think a lot of people really should be at.
definitely. Because the Jack could teach very many people that I know how to live a life.
Yes, because like I said, Jack very much lives the warrior's lifestyle. You know, honor above everything. You know, composure and form and respect among is paramount. You know, there is no such thing as dishonorable combat as long as both parties are engaged. You know, I mean,
Yes.
I don't think Jack would ever kill anything that is unarmed or
No.
steal anything
No.
without the proper motivation. Because
Cause.
in that mobster episode, he steals that sapphire to get to a coup,
You're right.
but then he immediately returns the stupid thing. So I mean,
Actually, he doesn't even return it.
he doesn't.
No, he leaves it with the mobsters who say, "We'll return it, yeah." And they end up making a fucking fortune, a semi-legit fortune off of
Uh,
selling water to people.
yeah, probably.
No, that's what they did at the very end of the show. You can see them, and they've got the water thing, and they're selling water to people. It's
Oh,
great.
well, still that. It's just. I mean, we talk about lessons to learn a lot from cartoons because that's what cartoons are when you're watching them as a child. They are lessons. And there are a lot worse things to watch as a child than Samurai Jack.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
Samurai Jack is all about composure and using the situations that are presented to you in an intelligent and compassionate way to benefit as many people as possible.
exactly. Most kids from our age are still obsessed with SpongeBob and
Well, even you can learn a lot from SpongeBob.
yeah, but I'm talking about like the dim-witted humor is what they're obsessed with.
Oh yeah,
The dim-witted humor of SpongeBob, the extremely dim-witted humor, if that could be even called humor, of Ed, Edd and Eddy, things like that. People are seriously fan crazing over that stuff.
I
And
loved
then
Ed, Eddie, man.
Ed, Edd and Eddy was good. I liked it. It was entertaining, but
It
it
was as dumb as a
just
box of rocks.
yes, it was. But then you get to Samurai Jack, and then you see this whole nother level of animation and cartooning that you don't know what to do with it sometimes.
Yes,
It's
Samurai Jack is a whole nother level. But what do you expect from the guy that gave us Powerpuff Girls?
exactly.
You know, what do you expect from that? I mean, all of his stuff is just on a whole nother level. I mean, Powerpuff Girls was inspired. Samurai Jack was inspired, and it's probably the other 50 things he's done that I can't think of at this exact moment in time are most likely all inspired.
Yeah.
You know, and they're all so simple. It's let's take this archetype and stick to it. You know, let's take this warrior mentality manifest it, give it a single goal, and just cock block it as much as often as possible with as bigger and dumber things. Because it becomes a certain point where it becomes self-aware and it's like, this stuff is cray cray, but everyone's loving it, so let's just roll with it. Well, that was our extremely condensed thoughts down on Samurai Jack. If you haven't watched it, I suggest watching it.
Suggest, demand.
Yes, definitely watch it. If you do ever think about going into animation field at all, watch Samurai Jack. Really do, and don't watch it, study it, because like I said, it is a master class on how to get away with really simple, beautifully executed, but striking animation. Well, thank you for watching. We just finished wrapping up Samurai Jack. If you liked, please like, favorite, subscribe, drop us a comment, do a reply. Check out our other channels. We both
Yeah,
have DAs. We both have.
I am Striker Brony, in case you were wondering.
Yes.
That's who I will be.
Check out my other channel.
Yeah, check his other stuff. It's actually all really fracking cool. So,
The links are in the description. And until next time, have a nice day.